Hi there, all my partners and friends of Eagle Worldwide Ministries and friends that are on Facebook, folks out there on Expo Media and the other outlets that we're with. I have a tremendous friend here with me today and partner in ministry that I believe is one of the premier evangelistic voices in our community today. I have with me today Shelly Clement.
Well, hello, Dr. Russ. It's great to be here with you today.
It's great to be here with you too, and it's great to partner with you. You're a wonderful partner.
Thank you.
And a good friend. You and your husband, you oversee as directors of the Kingsway Outreach Center, 647, 649 King Street East in downtown Hamilton. You're right there at the eye of the storm. You're right there where everything is happening at a point and a place of impact. I know that you had some personal experiences in your life that make it so it's easy for you to understand and to have empathy for people who are in a life crisis or a situation with addictions that are life-altering addictions. Maybe you can share a little bit about, what goes on at the Kingsway on a regular basis. I know you just had a great Christmas outreach, and that kind of tell us a little bit about what goes on there and how you got started on it, and what's happened in your life since. I just want you to share your heart. I've seen so many people, Shelly, that you've had an impact on their lives to change their lives. Some of them that you've touched down there, going through Bible school or going to college now, getting their lives back on track, getting a job. You impact them in so many ways. I just want you to know that Maeve and I just love you, and Renee, and we appreciate just being your friend. I'm just going to leave you here with the folks and let you just share your heart with them, whatever you feel like. And you know what? They're going to get to know you the way we know you and appreciate you for who you are and the way you give of yourself for so many people in that life-changing place, that place of impact with the love of Jesus Christ in your heart. I'm glad to be your friend.
Thank you so much, Dr. Russ. Renee and I love you, and Pastor Maeve as well. You're a big part of our life.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to take a few minutes to just start in the beginning. Just like the Bible, in the beginning, God. God got a hold of my life, and before he got a hold of my life, I was in a lifestyle of, I was a pretty messed up girl. I was in a lifestyle of drugs and alcohol and had some failed marriages. I was just going in a vicious circle for 40 years through life and just couldn't seem to get it together. Couldn't seem to start and finish anything in my life, and it just seemed like a merry-go-round going around nonstop. And I thought, before you knew it, just everything began to build up in me, and I got to the point in my life where I was very depressed, very suicidal. I thought I had tried everything and everyone, but it got me nowhere. And I was 40-something years old, and all along God had been trying to get my attention, but I wasn't listening. You see, I was trying to do it my way. I was trying to fulfill my life with the things and the stuff and the people that I thought would satisfy that vacant, empty spot in me. And it didn't matter what I tried or who I went to or who surrounded me. It always ended up void. And one day God just got a hold of me, and he began to speak to me, and he began to show his love, and it just totally dropped me to my knees. And I said, God, if you're real, if you can do anything with this pathetic life, take this life. I give it to you. I just ask you to come in and totally take over, because I'm at the point where I don't think I'm going to make it. There's nothing for me to live for. And in that moment, God showed up, and he showed off. And it was an overwhelming love that I thought, wow, how could you love a girl like me? I had nothing to offer the Lord. I had nothing. I had a pathetic, messed up life. And I thought, God, I got nothing to give you, because after a while I began to fall in love with the Lord. But I had nothing to give, and I would go to service after service. It was like I wanted to give, Lord, but I'm an uneducated girl. I'm messed up on drugs, alcohol, lost my children, lost my home. Nothing. But God, I got this life. If you can take this girl and you can do something with her so that you could be honored, so that I could feel I had a place to fit in your family and belong, I'll give it to you. and show me what to do. Well, before you knew it, God heard my prayer. Little did I know what God had in place for me in the future as I began to take that one step. And I tell you, I met with the Lord, and it was a night I will never forget as long as I live. His love was so overwhelming, and He began to take me step by step, place by place. Before you knew it, I was drug-free. I was alcohol-free. The relationships began to come together that I had destroyed over the years, whether through the drugs or my lifestyle or all the things that I tried to do. I would try to purposely self-destruct relationships and everything in my life. And God began to give me a hope. And He began to give me a future. And for that, I'm forever grateful. You see, I got the better end of the deal. I gave God a messed up life, and He gave me a hope and a future. And so I want to say to you out there, never underestimate the power of the living God. That if you say yes to Him, what He can do with one life that is willing and obedient to walk step per step, as a commitment, as a surrendering your whole life and everything you have to Him, because God has gone beyond my farthest expectations. Before you knew it, God had sent me, and there was a burning desire for me to come to Hamilton. I did not know why, nor did I want to come to Hamilton, but I knew God was calling me. And we kind of wrestled a little bit, God and I, and before you knew it, my husband and I both had a dream to go to Hamilton. I didn't know why I was going to Hamilton, but I knew I had to go. A friend had invited me to come to a service at Eagle Worldwide Ministries, Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve Moyer. And at that point in my life, I'd had enough of church. I went a couple years, and I just, had walked out and said, that's it. I'm really not interested in church, but I love my Lord. But I felt it compelling to go because I was searching. I was searching for something and a family and a place where I would belong. You see, I needed that sense of not just with God, but a family here on earth that I would belong to. And God was preparing me for that at Eagle Worldwide Ministries. And before you know it, I said to my friend, you know what? What the heck? I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm going to go. I stepped foot into the church that day, and I have never been the same since. As soon as I stepped foot in that church, it was like God instantly spoke to me, and He said, this is what you've been waiting for. This is the family I've given you. This is the place you belong, Shelly, and your destiny is going to begin to unfold there. And so I'm glad I was obedient in those little steps in being settled and placed with a church family that I could grow. And before you knew it, Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve and so many speakers that came through the door at Eagle Worldwide Center, Revival Center, they were believing the prophetic, which I didn't know a lot about the prophetic. I didn't know a lot about the giftings, and I knew of the stories in the Bible, but I didn't know that I could do that. And so before you know it, they began to prophesy and minister and see the gifting in me and help me to excel in what God has gifted me for in life, because I didn't know I had gifts. I didn't know that I could really accomplish anything in my life. I was 40-something years old and still had not started one thing and finished it. And so God began to work on me, and Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve and their leadership team, and began to show me so many giftings that I had, and began to prophesy over me. And when they began to prophesy over me, for many years when I was on the streets, I had a dream. When I was walking the streets, I said, God, this is terrible. I made a mess of my life, and I don't blame anyone. But here I am in the bitter cold, hungry, addict, alcoholic, depressed, lonely, by myself, and I made that life. But you know what, God? If you could help me, there's so many people that are like me out here. So many people that are looking for an answer. They know they've made mistakes. They know who they are. No one needs to tell them. If you talk to them, people have come and talked to me, I knew where I was at. I didn't need anyone to tell me. What I needed to know was someone cared and someone would help me walk this through, because I didn't know how to walk it through. And that's exactly what I found at Eagle Worldwide Ministries, was walking through. It's one thing to tell someone, it's quite another to walk them through the things that they have to overcome in their life, and reteaching me the little things and the basic things in life, to hold on to a relationship, to start something, to set goals, to finish something. All those little things that we take for granted in life, I did not know how to do. And I found that at Eagle Worldwide Ministries. And I had that dream that, God, maybe someday there would be a home or a place open that these people could come in, out of the cold or out of the streets, that they could come and have a little hope, a little peace, a little quiet, where someone could just serve them a little food and give them a hug. Well, I knew I did not tell Dr. Russ that. I did not tell Pastor Maeve that. But God told them that. And when they began to prophesy to me, I was shocked. I was shocked. I said, only God could have showed him that. And I knew, I did not know Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve in that time. I was fairly new coming in the door, but I knew God spoke to them. I knew I didn't speak to them, but God did. And in that moment, things began to unravel. Dr. Russ would give us a bag of bread, and we'd put some butter and peanut butter on it, and just to distribute out in the streets. And so we started just hitting the streets with peanut butter and bread and things like that I felt like I wanted when I was on the streets, and some hot chocolate and coffee. And before you knew it, Dr. Russ started bringing pizzas in. It started with just like 30, 40 pizzas, and in a quick time it grew and multiplied to hundreds of boxes of pizza handing out on the street, which gave us an open door of opportunity to spread the love of Christ and begin to pray for people. And so in saying that, it began to grow so fast, it outgrew our home. So we would have people coming in and tables setting up outside our door. And as Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve would go by the street on Emerald Street where we lived, they were looking for a place. Before you knew it, the Kingsway Blessing Center got birthed. And we were outgrowing it so fast. And since then, it has grown to 200 people a day, feeding 200 people a day. We just had a recent Christmas dinner, and we fed over 450 people Christmas on the 10th, our dinner. And it was so bitter cold out there. People were waiting for hours on end to come in to wait for a meal. We had a full course meal. Every man, woman, and child had a gift. There was Christmas hampers given out. So I just want to say to you today, there was 40 volunteers that had came in from all walks of life. And I just want to say to you today, wherever you're at, whether you're in your home or driving your car or wherever you're at, please don't underestimate the power of God of surrendering your life to Him as to what He can do with one person. He loves you. He's got a plan. He's got a hope. He's got a future. Little did I know what God had in store for me as far as Eagle Worldwide Ministry family, the city of Hamilton, the people we are impacting. We are seeing lives changed every single day. Every single day. Drug addicts being set free. Families being restored and put back together. Communities working together. People getting their education. It's unbelievable. People going into Bible school. Little did I know that God could take a messed up girl like me and use her for a great honor and a great privilege for Him and His glory and His honor. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve. Without them, without their help, without them embracing me, I could never do what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I feel that I know I would not be alive here today. I would be lost and in an eternal hell If Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve, God did not use them to come alongside of me, and forever I'm grateful for that. And I want to ask you today, will you come? Will you be a part? Will you join? You may not necessarily be a part of the hands-on service that we do at the Kingsway, but will you consider, prayerfully consider helping by donating? As you know, it takes a lot of finances to give unto what we do. There's so many needs, so many people. We could hardly keep up with it. We need help. Will you? Because you never know the life you're investing in. I never knew the life Dr. Russ and Pastor Maeve were investing in. But the fruit has been great. It has multiplied to hundreds of people, and we are only in just the beginning stages. Would you consider helping us financially, being a monthly partner, a one-time love offering of maybe $1,000? Because you are investing in the lives of people.
Shelly, quite the life, quite the journey. I want you to know you do a tremendous job. To be there for them, to talk with them, to work with them, to love on them. And not just the people that come in off the street that are in great need or a great time of crisis, but I want you to know you're an inspiration to the rest of us that are involved in the church and the volunteers around the ministry and around the Kingsway, to see a person totally dedicated to what God's called them to. And if you're out there today and you're trying to figure out, where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? Can God actually use me? Well, you're looking at two people here today that God snatched us from the pit. Mm-hmm. And he's done something with our lives. If he can use us, he can use you. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you think you've done in the past, today's a good day to turn things around. He's the God of U-turns. Grab a hold of his heart today and tell him from the depth of your heart that you're ready to make a change, that you really want to make a difference, that you want to have an impact. And pick up the phone and call us at area code 905-308-9991. Or you can email us or get us on Facebook here. Let us know that you're interested in partnering together, or that God's having an impact in your life and God's doing something new. Come on, connect with us now. Partner together with us now as we press into the harvest and to feed the hungry, house the homeless, shoe the shoeless. That's the place you want to be. You want to touch God's heart? Then touch the ones that really have a hold of God's heart. God has a heart for those in need. I just want to say God bless you. And you have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope that God sets your feet on just the right path, those divine appointments and divine connections. Thank you for joining Shelly and I today. God bless you now.